David Westgate, CEO of Andrews, 50 branch network, 527 employees. You said to me before we started, estate agency marketing is dead.
Yes.
What did you mean by that?
Yes.
Talk to me.
Yes, I think like anything else in industry and business, times have moved on. So I've been working with my colleagues in our marketing team, challenging them on actually what is marketing? Do we actually do marketing anymore in a estate agency? As we know, marketing really is about people, isn't it? It's about
It's
people.
persuading somebody to do something.
Yeah. As a technical definition, and I think people are that marketing engine, because in the old days we used to spend a lot of money on press advertising, we used to spend a lot of money on perhaps billboard advertising. Worst of all, we used to spend a lot of money on putting leaflets through people's doors that go straight in the bin.
Isn't it weird that estate agents will put 10 or 20,000 leaflets through the door, and if they get one lead back, they think, well, at least it's paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nonsense, isn't it? So times have moved on, and the key thing here is the digital world, isn't it? So what we absolutely have to understand is how we spend our money marketing budgets wisely on digitising our response from or for customers. So my sense is marketing in the true sense is dead. We don't spend money anymore on any of those things I've already mentioned. But actually where we do want to invest time, effort and money is in the digital space.
So, I mean, what winds you up? I mean, apart from sending leaflets, what's your thoughts on putting Rightmove pie charts on saying, look at our market share, it's this big?
Yeah, I mean, is the customer really interested? You know, when we go to a property and talk to a customer, you know, the first and foremost thing we have to do is have a conversation with the customer. People don't want to be sold to anymore. I think that is a bold statement, but it's true.
It's true. No one likes to be sold to. Isn't it funny that we as human beings don't like to be sold to, but as soon as we put our estate agency hat on, it's look at us, look how brilliant we are, we're marvellous, and look, these are the reasons. It's almost a leaflet, and the agent with the most bullet points.
Well, Chris, you know, we don't need to do any of that. I mean, customers already know.
But the industry does.
Well,
Is that their loss?
And that's why we need to move on, because customers already know, because they've already looked at Rightmove and other portals, they already know who the lead agent is in town. And I maintain one of the strongest marketing messages we've got are our boards. You know, love it or hate it, having board presence in a local town tells customers who's kingpin.
But what do you do when you don't have for sale boards in that town?
Well, so that's a problem for us in some of our operating areas. Trying to get market share is a challenge. So we have to find ways to connect with customers. I think it's well known that quite often estate agents don't respond to the leads that they've already got coming through from Rightmove and Zoopla. So, you know, I maintain even in our own business, we've got enough leads to operate on without having to go and get more leads. I think, you know, more energy, more effort needs to be spent on the elements of the business.
And how do you, if you were a boss, how do you ensure that you're squeezing every single ounce out of what you've got, as opposed to going for new fruit?
Well, I am the boss. So one of our phrases here is the share of wallet, share of market. You know, so when we have a customer with a strong relationship, with an open question, everyone needs a solicitor when you're moving home. So are we asking that question? Probability is everyone needs a mortgage when they're moving home.
Why do you think estate agents, especially negs and valuers who tend to be more people orientated, are not very good at asking open questions or even just generally business generating?
Yeah, I think there's still an old school consideration about a single transaction. I think the way in which we've managed people historically, the way in which we've paid people historically has been based very, very focused on that single transaction. It has to change. And the majority of customers, if you ask a good open set of questions, you know, will buy your products and services because you've built a relationship with them.
But that therefore comes down to having a great branch manager to coach and guide and support.
Yeah.
Do you think we as an industry are good at coaching and guiding our teams?
No, I'm being frank about it. So at Andrews, we recognise that. We've very recently brought in new development and coaching programs for all of our business managers. And actually, I was with some of them earlier today, actually, doing a presentation skills course, and they've been doing their job for 20 odd years, and I've learned things they didn't know about themselves today. So, we all have to change, we all have to develop, and we have to move with the times.
So what excites you, David, with regard to the digital way of taking marketing?
I think the digital has had a big fanfare over the last 4 or 5 years. My understanding, talking to experts, is the power of video content in particular and the power of media content is today's marketing.
Well, that's why I'm here today.
Great.
Because you can get your message across. Yet, it's very interesting. There is a big estate agency who are purple, but not of the bricks variety, of a different purple, who've given all their staff videos, yet they're finding it very difficult to actually get them to constantly go out and do the video because of a fear.
Okay, so it's really interesting, isn't it? And I think this is about confidence. So one of the messages internally that we're getting across all the time here is you have a point of view. So people want to buy professionalism. They're coming to us because we're experts. So share your point of view. And it's really interesting to talk to any of my staff in any location, talk to me about the property market, and they're fantastic. They can talk forever about it, but you put them in front of a customer and say, talk about the property market, and they become automatically guarded.
I'll give you a tip, because I've taught over 350 people how to do videos, but it's mostly bosses.
Yeah.
It's a fear of the top of back of your brain called your amygdala, and it basically doesn't want you to affect your place in the tribe because you don't want to be kicked out and die. Now, the problem with business owners is that I'm not on their back talking to them and making sure.
Yes.
The art actually is just to go out there, produce a video and chuck it out there. Yeah. You need the accountability of your boss, of the branch managers to say do it, and the area managers just do it. And you'll realise after doing 10 that no one's actually out there putting derogatory comments. In fact, no one's out there waiting for you to video.
No, and moreover, they love it. People love talking about what they do in their local environment.
The art is with video, though, is not to try and do what some big agents do, is try and sell stuff. It's give, and I think that's where the marketing is going. It's not trying to get or take. It's what can I give you?
My word would be authentic, because I think the customers want to buy authentic professional knowledge. And fundamentally, people don't want to be sold to again, isn't it?
Because estate agents are very guilty of trying to sell stuff. What I teach people to do is, if you actually talk about the property market, hell, even stand outside a competitor's house and tell people to buy it because it's the best buy-to-let deal, which screws most agents' heads up. What really weird happens is people are attracted to you.
Yeah, well, knowledge is power, isn't it? And I think what we're bad at as agents is actually externalising that knowledge.
Yeah, because let's be frank, after the weather, we are the gatekeepers to the most interesting topic. But all we talk about is our market share, the size of our willies, and how wonderful we are.
Well, quite so.
Interesting times. So finally, where do you see estate agents in 50 years' time, especially with their marketing and attracting people?
Well, the fundamental for me is it's all about people and it's all about property. So, the UK in particular, we're obsessed with property. There's no question about that. Culturally, I don't think that will ever change. There might be different forms of tenure coming through, and that's fantastic, and that's great, but fundamentally, property is here to stay, isn't it? The unique thing about property is it has to involve people, whether that's buyer, seller, renter, letter, and actually, fundamentally, you need a gatekeeper, which is an agent. So I'm really excited about the future.
Computers can't replace that, can they?
No.
Interesting times ahead.
Great.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Chris.
Cheers.